Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Isn't You Powerful podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking with you about portion sizes for weight loss. What should your nutrition look like whenever you are trying to lose weight in a sustainable way? And what I'm talking about when I say that is, one, you're going to lose the weight and keep it off. And that is such an important detail here, because how many times, whether it's been you or somebody that you know, has gone on this super strict diet, done all this thing to lose weight, and then as soon as they go off the diet or stop taking that medication or whatever it may look like, bam, the weight goes back up. That is what we want to avoid, because not only is that really dangerous for your body. What happens when you lose weight, especially when you lose weight super quickly, you end up losing a lot of your muscle mass as well as the fat that's on your body. And then whenever you start to gain the weight back, you're not gaining muscle back, you're gaining fat back. So now your body is very disproportionate in the amount of fat that it has to muscle. And every time that you do that, you lose more muscle and gain more fat back. And that is really dangerous for your body. But also in addition to that, it's important just for your mindset, for your mental health, that you can lose this weight and keep it off. So we're going to be talking a lot about that today, what it looks like to lose the weight and be able to keep it off in a way that you're still enjoying the food. I want you to still be eating foods every day that you enjoy eating. I want you to feel like you're not restricting, like you're not making yourself not enjoy eating or enjoy living so that you can reach this goal. Because when you do that, you end up restricting yourself so that you lose the weight, and then as soon as you hit that number on the scale or you decide that you're done with restricting yourself so much, you start adding that food back in, and because you've been restricting it for so long, now you are going to go overboard and eat that food so much that you end up, again, gaining the weight back, feeling terrible about yourself, and just in general living in a more unhealthy lifestyle than you were before. So we aren't going to do that here. That is not why you're listening to this podcast. That would not make you a very powerful person. So we are not going to do that. And instead today, I'm going to talk to you about portion sizes for weight loss. I'm going to give you a visual of what that should look like. And I'm also going to link down in the show notes my free guide for portion sizes for weight loss so that you can download that. It also comes with multiple recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so that you can dig into it and begin using those recipes and trying it out for yourself and seeing what it feels like to use these portion sizes consistently. So with that being said, let's get into this episode. I have had multiple times where people ask me, Laura, how do you come up with all of the ideas for these episodes? And I have to say that a lot of times I do wake up and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about on the podcast. And then suddenly something comes to me. This idea for this episode came to me through a client conversation. It was a conversation that was happening inside of the Seismic Shift group chat this past week. At the very beginning of Seismic Shift, I began teaching my clients how they are going to start using these plate portions that I'm about to teach you so that they can begin eating healthy meals consistently and seeing the weight loss that they are searching for. And this past week, I had one of my clients visit the doctor that she saw, I believe it was like back in December or a few months ago. I can't remember exactly the time frame, but she saw her doctor that she had been recently seeing, and she stepped on the scale. The scale was down 7 pounds from the last time she saw her, and she's been working with me ever since the last time she saw that doctor. So she's down 7 pounds, and then her doctor was like, hey, this is the nutrition that I recommend, and it was the exact plate portions that I also recommend to her. And so she was like, that was validation that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm on the right track. All of those things felt like validation to me. And every time I get a message from my clients that say, hey Laura, my scale's down, or this is how I'm feeling, my clothes are fitting looser, I haven't stepped on the scale, but I'm feeling so much better, that is validation for me too. I know that this works because I've seen it work in other people, and I've seen it work for myself. If you are new to me, you don't know my story, I lost 30 pounds in 2020, 2021 time frame, and a large part of that, I was following these plate portions. And the reason why I love them so much is the simplicity of it. I can follow these plate portions, whether I'm at a restaurant, I'm at home, I'm cooking for myself, or somebody else is cooking for me, I can follow these plate portions very easily because it's all about the visuals. I don't have to have some scale in my kitchen where I'm weighing out the exact amount of grams or whatever it is. I don't have to do that. I don't have to put everything into my fitness pal. There's none of that. I just look at it visually. Does it follow these plate portions? If it's a yes, I'm gonna eat it. And it's that simple. And I still follow it now. I follow a little different version of it now that I've reached my weight loss goals. But overall, I still follow this same method for eating, and it's just that easy. I've been doing it for 6 years now. It's just that easy. So on your plate, you should have 3 different sections, okay? And I'm going to, like I said, link down in the show notes a visual for this. And I do want to say that within Seismic Shift, I dig into this a lot more. Seismic Shift is my 8-week group coaching program, and it's actually getting a little facelift, which I'm really, really, really excited for. I'm feeling like very my energy is really pumped for it. And the facelift is going to, now Seismic Shift is going to be a full-on, like, let me take your hand and guide you from step 1, which is you being where you are right now, lost, confused, you know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it. All of those emotions that you're feeling right now when it comes to your health and wellness, I'm going to take you from there to getting to the point where I'm consistent with it. It feels easy. It feels like this is part of who I am. It's not something that I have to try to do. It's not something that feels super overwhelming. Yeah, I have to put in effort, but it feels easier to put that effort in. That's the point that you will be at the end of Seismic Shift. Right now, Seismic Shift is a 2-month program. It is going to be extended to be a 6-month program and beyond. And so I'm really excited for what's to come. There's going to be recipes that come as a part of this new Seismic Shift. There are going to be weekly goals that are preset for you to get you from where you are to where you want to go. So every single week I say, this is exactly what you should be working on with your nutrition, with your exercise, and with your water. There's no questioning it. It's not like a lot of times when I was joining coaching programs in the beginning to try to figure out how to be a healthy person, I was going into these programs and they were like, so what are your goals for this week? And I'm like, I don't know. You have to tell me. I hired you to tell me what to work on. I don't know what to work on. If I knew what to work on, I wouldn't be here. So I've learned that lesson now as a coach, and I'm implementing that into this new version of Seismic Shift. So every single week you get told this is what to work on in each of these areas of your life. These are some recipes that can fit that for you. You're getting education, there's live calls, all kinds of amazing, really wonderful things. And with all of that, the price for each month is going down. It's going to be below $100 every single month to be able to work with me. And the reason for that is because I was put on this earth to help people. I was put on this earth I have a mission. You know what I mean? I have a mission. I'm here for a reason, and I want to be able to help so many people to feel more comfortable in their skin, to feel in control with food, and to feel like healthy isn't so overwhelming and complicated and hard. I want you to feel like you can live a healthy lifestyle. That's all I really want for you. So with that being said, the price is going down, the value is going up, and I'm so excited for it. That is going to be coming next month. You'll learn a lot more about all of that next month. But anyway, this is not a sales pitch for the new Seismic Shift. I was getting around to saying that I teach all of this in that program, and I go really in depth into it in the program. This is a broad overview so that you can begin taking nuggets and implementing them into your life and seeing how it feels for you. You're like trying it on for size after listening to this. So again, going back to the plate portions, there are 3 sections that you should have on your plate: protein, carbs, and veggies. Healthy fats are also in there, and we're going to talk about those. Let me preface this by saying there are 3 macronutrients, and you've probably heard of people counting their macros. When they're doing that, they're counting the value of macronutrients that they're getting every single day, okay? And there are 3 macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fats. And so we want to make sure that those things are a part of every single meal that we're eating, because macro means big. They are a big part of a healthy, well-balanced plate. That's how you can think of it. Macros are a big part of the healthy, well-balanced plates that you are eating. Micronutrients are also very important, and those come from, they're like mixed into these other foods that you're eating, right? Like you're going to find a lot of micronutrients in the veggies that you're eating and in the carbs that that you're eating. So you're getting all of these things in there. Healthy fats are a part of a healthy, well-balanced plate, and I'm going to talk about where those fit in here in just a couple of minutes. But the 3 sections of a healthy, well-balanced plate are protein, carbs, and veggies. So let's talk about each of these, and let's talk about what the portion size should be, how much of your plate should be taken up by each of these food groups, and what some examples are and why those things are important. Let me introduce to you the very first official sponsor of the Isn't She Powerful podcast. I am so dang excited to share this company with you because I've personally been using and loving them for over a year now. Today's sponsor is Seventh Creations. If you've been listening for a while, you know that I am really intentional about what I put in my body, but I'm also mindful of what I put on my body. And these products have completely changed the game for my skin. My 3 favorites that I keep using over and over and over again are the Restore Tallow Face Balm, the Lip Balm, and the Whipped Tallow Body Butter. And when I tell you, these make my skin feel so soft, I mean noticeably different. I saw changes in the texture of my skin within just a few uses, especially in the dry and rough patches, and that's why I've stayed consistent with them ever since. My husband compliments my skin all the time now, and it is so exciting. Now, if you're thinking, okay, wait a second, what is tallow? Let me break it down super simply. Tallow is rendered beef fat, and before modern skincare products, it was one of the most commonly used moisturizers. And that is because it is incredibly rich in vitamins A, D, E, and K. And the makeup of the tallow is actually really similar to our own skin's natural oils. And that means that your skin recognizes it, absorbs it easily, and allows it to stay hydrated without feeling greasy. So instead of slathering on lotions filled with synthetic ingredients your skin doesn't even know what to do with, tallow is a really beautiful and nourishing back to the basics alternative. One of the things that I love most about Seventh Creations is their integrity. They partner with local rangers and hand select the highest quality vitamin-packed tallow so that you actually know where it's coming from and can trust that it's good for you. They never add synthetics, which gives you total peace of mind using their products day after day. And I just have to mention the price for a second because that matters. You guys know that. Their products are significantly more affordable than other leading tallow brands without sacrificing the quality of the product. Making high quality, clean skincare accessible is one of Seventh Creations' top priorities. If you've been wanting a healthier swap for your everyday lotion or skincare routine, this is such an easy place to start. Or if you haven't been thinking about it, but now you're feeling inspired to give it a try, I just truly cannot recommend Seventh Creations enough. Seventh Creations was kind enough to offer us a 10% discount for the listeners of the show. So you can use the links down in the show notes to grab your own containers and try my favorite products for yourself using the code LAURA10, LAURA 10 for 10% off of your first order. And trust me, your skin will thank you. All right, so let's talk about protein first. Protein should take up about 1/4 of your plate, and I'm primarily talking about lunch and dinner plates here. In the guide that's down below, you are going to see different plate portions for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Go down there, check that out, download the guide, and explore that further. I'm going to be talking about one type of plate portion for this, okay? The most generic one. And then after that, you can kind of adjust it to fit your specific goals based on either what you find in that guide, or if you work with me further in Size Make Shift or one-on-one coaching, you can adjust it more to fit your specific needs. This is, again, an overview of what a healthy, well-balanced plate can look like. So your protein should take up about 1/4 of your plate. The purpose of protein is to fill you up during the meal. So as you are eating, your body is getting this protein, and that is what's going to make your body start to feel full while you are eating, okay? So protein fills you up during the meal. That's its primary goal. Protein also is obviously very important for building up your muscle muscle mass, if you are somebody who's going to the gym consistently, and I want to put that disclaimer in here. I talked about how I've had multiple clients coming to me in this round of seismic shifts saying, I'm losing weight, I'm losing weight, I'm losing weight. And each of them is also doing things with exercise as well. It's not just nutrition, they're also moving their body. That's a very important piece of it. Anyways, protein is really important while building up your muscle mass because it's going to help your body build the muscle, and that muscle is going to help your body get rid of some of that fat that you have on your body that obviously you're trying to get rid of. So protein should take up about 1/4 of your plate. The other thing that should take up about 1/4 of your plate is carbs. And carbs are super important because they are what is going to keep you full until the next meal. So protein fills you up and carbs keep you full until the next meal. Now, I want to say here that there are multiple types of carbs, and I'm not going to go into all of that here. I spend a large portion of time during Seismic Shift talking about this specific thing, the different types of carbs, how to know which type of carbs you should and shouldn't be eating, what is the proper time to eat certain types of carbs. But the one thing that I will say here is that the type of carbs you want to prioritize are ones that have fiber, because fiber is very complex. Fiber is really hard for your body to break down, and that might sound like a bad thing, but it's actually a really good thing because things like sugar, which are really easy for your body to break down, your body rushes through those things. It's going to speed through breaking that down, and what that does is it spikes your blood sugar really high. And a blood sugar spike is going to lead you onto a blood sugar roller coaster, which is obviously not a thing that you want to be on. So instead of eating these things that are higher in sugar, you want to prioritize eating the carbs that are higher in fiber. This can look like whole grains, it can look like beans, it could look like whole wheat. So prioritizing these things that are higher in fiber helps to keep you full for longer between meals. If you're somebody who has a lot of cravings, who feels like they're constantly hungry, who feels like you finish a meal and then an hour later you need to eat again, your tummy's grumbling again, if that's you, the likelihood here is that you're probably not eating enough fiber. So you want to make sure that you are intentionally having high fiber foods in your healthy, well-balanced plate. So we have 1/4 of a plate of protein, 1/4 of a plate of high fiber carbs, and then that leaves the rest of the plate, which is the other half of the plate, for veggies. We want the majority of our plate to be veggies. And I know for a lot of the people that I work with, that's really hard. And you are probably one of those people. You found the podcast for a reason. It's probably pretty challenging for you to eat veggies because either you are a picky eater or you live with someone who's a picky eater. But there are so many benefits to eating these veggies. Number one, you are going to get a lot of those micronutrients that we talked about. All of the different vitamins and minerals that your body may be lacking, your body is going to get through eating vegetables. So that's one thing that is super beneficial. That's really important. That's why I always talk about the importance of variety and eating different color of fruits and vegetables. One of the very first podcast episodes that I did here on this podcast was about the importance of the different colors of fruit and vegetables, why you should be eating multiple colors. And the reason for that is because each of these colors does something different for your body. It's going to provide different micronutrients for your body and give you different things. So for example, if you eat red foods, it's really good for your heart health. If you eat blue foods, it's really good for your brain and your memory and your brain health. So all of the different colors have a different outcome. But eating half a plate of vegetables is super valuable as well because it's high volume. You can eat a lot of vegetables for a little amount of calories, and therefore you are going to fill your body up on low calorie foods, and therefore you are more likely to be in a calorie deficit. So we want to prioritize eating vegetables at as many meals as we can. Now, veggies are a really great opportunity for you to add in some of those healthy fats that I was talking about earlier. Cook your food in olive oil. Cook your food in avocado oil or a different type of oil, butter, ghee. Cook your food in one of these oils and one of these healthy fats, and that's a really good way to get in some healthy fats on this meal without it being an ingredient of the meal, if that makes sense. So you are cooking in it or adding it in on afterwards. So for example, you might use an olive oil as a dressing for a salad, or you could find an olive oil based dressing at the grocery store for your salad. There's many ways for you to get in some healthy fats with your cooking or after cooking, and that way it's not a part of, let me make this like a priority onto my plate, but it's always going to be there because you're either cooking with it or adding it on afterwards. And healthy fats add a lot of flavor, so don't be scared of them. Don't be scared and act like you can't have a dressing on your salad. Baby, you can have dressing on your salad. It's okay? So make sure that you are adding flavor to these meals, because the number one thing that is going to make it easier for you to stick with this long term is that you actually enjoy the food that you are eating. So put flavorful things on your plate every single time. And don't forget that I also share so many simple recipes on my social media as well. Make sure you're following along, because I'm sharing multiple recipes a week that are simple, easy to make, come together in just a few minutes, don't have a lot of ingredients. They're just really easy, healthy recipes that you and your family will enjoy. So make sure you're following me there too. I'm Laura B. Healthy on all social media platforms. Okay, so with that being said, make sure that you go down into the show notes and grab the weight loss guide. And also make sure you are checking out 7th Creations. I know that y'all heard it earlier in this episode. This is the first episode of the podcast that has an official sponsor, and that is just such a magical thing to be able to say. I'm so proud of the growth of this podcast. I wouldn't be here without every single person listening to this episode right now. You sharing it, you subscribing to it, you writing a rating and review. Every little action, literally you just clicking play every week, that helps me. So thank you so much for doing that. I hope that you helping me is worth me helping you. I hope that you're getting something in return from me. Thank you for being here every single week. Make sure you check out 7th Creations. I'm telling you, I asked them, I was like, hey, I love your products. I've been using your products for over a year. Do y'all want to be a sponsor of the podcast? Because I want to talk about you everywhere. So make sure that you go down and check them out, because I'm telling you, they're a very, very, very good company, very kind people who own it, very good quality products, and the products like really work. My hands and my face and everything else feels so smooth after using their products. I live by them. So check them out. They are so good for you and so good for your body. I appreciate you all being here. I hope that this episode was helpful, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you again next week. And always remember, the more you know, the more you grow.